Hello, welcome back to my daily coverage of the 2026 Atlas Mountain Race. This is day 4, so let's have a little look at the tracker and see what's been going on. And well, as you can see here, the win is almost been taken now. So Victor Bozzone, he's got, what is that? Probably about 30k over Ole Bjorn Smithgel. And he's basically on the finish straight. It's a long finish straight, mind you, but yeah, he's on the home run. So he's on this coast road, and it looks like he's probably, well, almost definitely going to be the first rider back. I expect it's probably going to be a couple of hours still for him. But yeah, Victor made his move. I kind of suspected this might be coming. We saw that he'd slept quite a lot more than the other guys in the top 5 over the last couple of nights, and it seems like he's now making his push for home. When I checked this morning, though, he was in second again, so Ole Bjorn got ahead again. But Victor looks like he just had a sleep, and then he's just really pushed hard. There's a series of climbs. You can see where Sebastian is here at the moment. I guess he's kind of made his move there, and then managed to push that gap out. And as you can see, it's 30k now. So that's fairly decisive. I mean, it's never over till it's over. But at this point, Victor is finishing the last kind of off-road section. Although, as I did mention in my race preview, last year it looked like they're doing a lot of roadworks there. So this could even be tarmacked now by this point. But yeah, he's almost done with the off-road. Then it's just the road run in to Azuria. So yeah, it's been a really good ride by Victor so far. I must say, I've been very, very impressed. So yeah, great work there, Victor. So I'll run through the rest of the field. But first, let's have a look at the sponsors. So as you know already, my coverage is supported by Enduro Bearings now, as well as replacement bearings and bottom brackets and tools and things like that. They also do replacement jockey wheels. So these run on the same XD15 bearings that you can find in the wheels and the jockey wheels. Super smooth, more importantly, super long lasting. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. Jockey wheels are one of those kind of components that you kind of forget about on your bike until it's too late. So yeah, when you do come to replace them, it's worth considering buying something quality. I've not worn a set out yet. I've done multiple of these ultras on them, and yeah, they're still running super sweet. They're made from a slightly tougher material than like the stock ones you find on Shimano and SRAM as well, so they do last a bit longer. They are a bit more expensive, but I think they pay for themselves over time. So yeah, check out Enduro Bearings and their range of jockey wheels. And as well as Enduro Bearings, as you know, we have Buxton Box, who are sponsoring this content. So yeah, Buxton Box are the aluminium bike boxes made here in the UK, and you can actually customize the colors. So this is kind of the standard colorway. You can see the panels in the side here. The aluminium panels are painted, and then you can have the raw kind of aluminium edging. Or you can do various different things. So you can have kind of patterns on there. You can get your own graphics made. You could paint the entire box. You could do panels only. You can choose from a wide range of sort of colors. So yeah, you can customize it to how you like. So check out their Instagram. They've got a load of kind of examples of different colorways and stuff. So yeah, if you're interested in that, check out Buxton Box. So yeah, now back to the race. So let's have a little look at the rest of the field. So Victor and Ole Bjorn have kind of been at the head of the race now for the past day or so, but it's been pretty exciting behind as well. So you can see they're spreading out a little bit, but Radoslav, he seems to have made a pretty good move over Chris and Sebastian. Now you may remember we mentioned a day or so ago that Chris he was complaining of a knee issue, so he took quite a long rest at the CP3. I suspect that it was probably just to try and rest his knee a little bit. But he still seems to be moving okay, and he's got through these climbs here. I'll show you Ride with GPS in a second, just to sort of go into a bit more detail about this section of the route. Sebastian, obviously he went out pretty hard and then had those breathing issues. Again, it looks like he's taking quite a long break at CP3, and at the moment he looks like he's just kind of trying to get it done. It does also look like Thomas Bouret. I talked about him on the first day. He always seems to finish really strong in this race, and he's going through this section here is deceptively difficult. There's some really tough climbs in there, as I'll come on to in a second. So I wouldn't put it past Thomas to catch Sebastian and take that 5th place. So yeah, plenty still to look out for in this race. Max Reis, he's also starting to sort of move away from the others. Nicola had a really strong night, but he seems to have dropped back. And then there's Marc Buchel, Guillaume Poisson, and then Juan Antonio Fletcher, Stephen Davis. He's also a really strong competitor. I've raced him a couple of times. So yeah, plenty more racing to be done in that top 10. And then a couple of other names. You can see just the gaps are getting bigger. This is an attritional race, as I've said from the very beginning. And just looking at the gaps between the riders now, they were quite sort of clumped up before, but now it's just spreading out. So Joachim McLean, he's experienced, he knows what he's doing. Rob Britton, obviously he was right up there on the first night. Again, it sounded like he had a bit of a knee injury and he's had bigger stops at the checkpoints. So again, I suspect he's just trying to nurse that through. Maxime Prieur, he's actually one of the presenters of the French version of GCN, so there'll be some pretty cool content coming out of that, I suspect. Ashley Cornley, Niels Thaden, Mathieu Chesneux, and then Cynthia Carson. So Cynthia is still leading the women's race. She's creeping up there. She's doing a really strong ride. I actually had a bit of a message from her just on WhatsApp, and she was saying that she's trying to rest more than she usually does in these races. She's got half an eye on the complete mountain race series this year, so she's keen not to totally destroy herself here. And it seems like she's moved away from Kerry McPhee. She's got a bit more of a gap now. So yeah, we'll hear more from Kerry in a while. I also got a lot of questions yesterday about Anna Richter and why I've not included Anna in the women's category. So Anna has entered as a non-binary rider. So yeah, I've not included Anna in the roundup of the women's race, obviously, because they want to be in the non-binary category. But nonetheless, Anna is doing a really strong ride there in the top 20. So yeah, really great to see. As I said, Kerry she seems to have dropped off a little bit. It sounded like she's not been sleeping quite as much as Cynthia and had a few issues of her own, but we'll come on to that in social media. But still, she's pushing really hard. And then, well, if we just zoom out, you can see the riders are spread all the way across the south of Morocco there. The conditions have been pretty brutal with all the winds, and I think it's probably proven to be more attritional than normal. So yeah, pretty tough going out there, but still plenty of people soldiering on, and yeah, really, really cool to see. I talked a little bit about the route. Well, this is the section down here, the last off-road section. Now, as I said, when I was here last year, this final part had been massively widened. So I've been there two times now, sorry. So 2024 and 2025. And 2024, it was still a bit more of a kind of a Jeep track. But last year, they were basically doing massive works to kind of widen it. And kind of grade all the road. It looked like they're setting a foundation for the road. So I suspect that the data here that informs the rider GPS map probably hasn't been updated yet. So I suspect that certainly the last part of this may even be tarmacked by this point. So it does make the finish a little bit easier. However, it's still pretty much hard work. We talked about this long flat section here. Just across the desert. Yesterday it looked like there was some pretty strong winds. Again, it's looking like the wind is coming in there a little bit more, but it will be warmer certainly than it has been. I mean, it's been pretty cold on the Atlas this year, in the first part at least. And then you get into the climbs, and there's various climbs. So this section here I'm highlighting. This is known, it's not the official name, but it's the Moroccan Stelvio. So a long switchback climb. It's a pretty cool climb, to be honest. Probably if you're riding it outside of the Atlas Mountain Race. But yeah, so it's a tough finish for the riders. And then there's a series of smaller draggy climbs after that. So you think you're kind of going downhill, but I can assure you, having done it twice, that this section out to the coast really does drag. Even on the coast road, it's not totally flat. You know how coast roads go; they're always rolling. So yeah, it's a tough finish, and it's not as simple as it seems. And yeah, people have cracked there as well. A couple of years back, Drickus Kurtzi, he was only 10k behind Justina Slovakia, really pushing him, and he cracked and scratched about I think it's about 30k from the finish line, pretty much where Victor is now. So it's never over till it's over. So yeah, even Ole Bjorn, he's not fully safe. I mean, Radoslav seems to be pushing quite hard. It's probably about just under 20k. It's not inconceivable that could be closed, if he really took his foot off the gas there. So yeah, plenty of cool stuff to look out for as the race continues. So yeah, I shall leave it there with the update for now, and head over to the social media, and then hopefully tomorrow I think we should have the winner when I do my report. So here we go. Always good to see the official Atlas Mountain Race account. So this is just a quick roundup of the women coming into CP3. So Cynthia arrived at 9 o'clock this morning. She just stayed an hour. As I said in the preview, this is one of the best places for resupplying the race. And there's not always an awful lot between there and the finish. And bearing in mind you've been racing for 2 or 3 days, it's always good to stock up there, have a big meal, and take some sort of sandwiches and things to go. So after 2 hours of sleep, she deflated her mat and forced herself to get up, but did another hour on the floor anyway. So yeah, that kind of happens. But a 3-hour sleep at this stage of the race is no bad thing, and she'll probably end up pushing fairly deep into tonight, I would have thought. Might have to have a power nap, but I expect most people that left CP3 this morning will probably have an eye on getting through the night as far as they can and getting to the finish. Sometimes it's easier said than done. I've done a similar thing myself and ended up sleeping for an hour with about 50k to go. Actually, I've done that twice and lost loads of places. So, things can change in that last stretch. Right, so Kerry has been without phone signal and said she'd almost forgotten she was a race entirely. Before the race, she told us she was always guilty of watching the dots despite her best efforts not to. So yeah, so she's doing great, and that's Kerry there. And this is kind of the more classic Atlas landscape. It's just really is spectacular, especially in the mornings and the evenings with the sunset and the low light. It really is one of my sort of favourite places to ride in Morocco. Hence doing the Atlas Mountain Race 3 times and various other trips in Morocco. There's Cynthia. Still smiling, which is always a good sign. I think that might be Kerry. So that's a little roundup from the Atlas account on the women's race, and they're just some more great photos really. So yeah, the classic mid pack, resupply, tired face. There's a lot of tired face by this point. I think that's Connor Dunn from GCN. He's looking quite tired. So again, I expect there'll be some good content coming out on GCN after the race of Connor looking very tired. So I look forward to watching that. And yeah, just Morocco is a really beautiful country, and I definitely recommend visiting and cycling. Even if it's not in the Atlas Mountain Race, it's definitely worth a visit. What else have I found? I got a story from Kerry. So it sounds like she ran out of data on her phone, so we've not really heard much, but it's nice to get a little update. So here's Kerry.
I've just left CP3 and just got a quick resupply, and I am having the adventure of a lifetime. It has been amazing. I ran out of Moroccan phone data, so I've actually been completely offline since yesterday morning or the night before. So I don't know what's been going on, like with the dots and like totally just riding my own ride. It's been amazing. And it was really fun coming into CP3 and connecting to the Wi-Fi and getting an update from people. And yeah, I can't, I've got no words. The Colonial Road was amazing. I loved getting off-road. That was great. It's just an astonishingly beautiful country, and I can't believe I'm here.
So that's Kerry. A bit of a summary. So she's basically been riding her own race and not knowing what's going on. And to be fair, she's been doing really, really well. Plenty more from Kerry on her Instagram. So I'll let you sort of dig that out and find it. Great ride from Kerry still. This is Ole Bjorn, the classic cold can of drink down the neck. Trying to keep cool if you can. It can get quite hot in this more southern part of the Atlas Mountain Race route. It is a race of extremes. It's always cold over the high Atlas, and then it's always too hot once you lower down in the desert. So yeah, there's various strategies to try and keep cool. So yeah, there's just reshares of some of the things. And look at this classic. This is a beautiful track. I know exactly where it is, and I've had exactly that thought as well. Super steep, super loose. It just takes ages, and it's always tired. This is the off-road section after the old Colonial Road. Just a super steep climb. The first year I did it, it was so windy. I had to get off and push. So yeah, we've all been, oh well, not all of us, but those of us raced have probably had a very similar thought, but why on this section, as well as others. But it's all worth it. It is just a really, really, really spectacular country. So yeah, and sometimes you just got to dodge the locals. So this is the top of that climb section. And yeah, there's taps on the way. So yeah, plenty of cool stuff. So yeah. So that's that. And then finally, I'll just run through some of the photos on the Atlas Mountain Race account, because there's always top world-class photographers following this race. So yeah, just again, it's just spectacular. So that's Sebastian. Looks like he's got his buff over his mouth now. I suspect it could be a little bit too little too late for him, unfortunately. But nonetheless, he's doing an excellent ride. And yeah, these landscapes, just look at them. It's a beautiful place, and that's your kind of resupply. You're looking at these packaged biscuits, basically bread, and then tagines and stuff in between. Also worth a note, Albion are going to be at the finish line. They sponsor the race, and they do free repairs to people's kit, which is pretty cool because stuff does get broken on these races, and they're also there to repair the damage. And yeah, just check out the Atlas Mountain Race account. There's just endless amounts of beautiful photos on there. Morocco is a pretty spectacular place to ride a bike, even more spectacular to photograph. And I suspect that's why so many people keep going back every year, because the photos definitely make it look incredible. And it is, but it is a hard challenge. And there's Connor Dunn looking tired. So again, as I said, looking forward to seeing that on GCN. That's it for me today. I'll keep an eye on the dots overnight, and hopefully tomorrow we can bring you the winner. And it's looking like it's most likely to be Victor, but it's never over till it's over. So keep on watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.